Welcome back to the channel, Barbarians. Corlick here, and today we're going to be diving into the new LOADOUTS that just got released. In my
stakes
general
are higher
thoughts.
than they've ever been. Have we been built to defend the traveler? Have we been built
A lot
to
going
defend
on with
humanity?
the witness
is going to bring all
in
of
this
that to
one.
the test.
What is that? How would we react
If we were facing extinction,
And how are we going to
I don't
stand
really
together
know how
to
we would
overcome
act.
this?
That callus is so cool.
We were created for this moment, to deal with this conflict, to solve for this enemy.
Alright, seeing some Strand gameplay here.
What the hell happens when evil finally arrives and confronts the traveler?
Then, as light falls, a Bungie Vidoc video docuseries. Our end begins.
The traveler is threatened.
Yeah,
The
I
witness
think
is
the witness
here.
is just going to be,
Callus's forces are here as well. The
related to the
pyramid fleet is
campaign.
here. Big shit is
and then
going
we're going
down.
to get a different raid boss, is my assumption here.
Lightfall should feel like
So we'll have to
you have
see
stepped into the middle
what comes of it.
an active war.
One of the
Oh,
values
that's
that we
pretty
really
cool.
wanted to push
Creative
was making
director.
sure that you
See what he's
felt
got
like
up
the
his
tip of the spear.
sleeves.
You were the one who was initiating the action. You were the
Alright,
one
we're
who was
initiating the
taking
action.
control. You
I
were
like
the
the
one
looks
who
of that
was
shotgun
attacking
there.
things. What this tone gave us the chance
Good,
to
the
do
ability
was
to
really surface
have Strand
friendship,
interact with the
camaraderie,
world.
the connections that we have to each
It's going to
other.
be so much fun.
Kaido, we'll need your troops.
If the end of the universe is coming, what do we have left other than each other?
Alright, so we're going to have to rely on some of our allies in the tower.
At all costs.
Alright, come on, Zavala. He barely does the right thing, let's be
There's
honest.
a pretty big, serious threat that is happening to the solar
Dude,
system.
that's
So
sick.
we really wanted to bring that gravity and
Project
that weight
lead,
into the story.
Katarina.
In a major way, what we're doing right
Joe
now
Blackbird,
is we're both
game
setting
director.
up the finale for the Light and Darkness saga. We're pulling the witness into the frame for the first time.
Alright, it's pretty cool.
The big question has been, what does it want with the traveler? What will happen when it finds it?
I'm curious why the
And
witness
in
wants the
Lightfall,
traveler
it
as
does
well.
find it.
It can't be
I
just
feel
in
like
terms
the
of its light.
witness is so
Like, what
drastically
other
different from any other
driving
antagonists
purpose?
that we've had in Destiny in the past.
I guess we'll find out in the
Destiny
campaign, most
antagonists
likely.
are like kind of over the top and theatrical in their own
I feel
way.
like the campaign really
And then we
drives
have
the
the
story,
witness
but
who's
some of the most
just
fun
so
content is,
reserved. It's all about
you know, the
control
lost sectors,
of
the
witness.
planetary
Witness
exploration,
is here to
and the
finish where the
raid
collapse
that gets
started.
added.
Now, there's Callus. Always been power hungry, in it for himself.
This is kind of
He's
dope.
now signed on
We
as
know
one
that
of the
Callus
witness's
has become
disciples. We're seeing Callus go through
a
a
disciple of the witness, so
transformation
here we go.
and emerge
Alright,
as something new.
big boy. Got some new armor. Looks like there might be
Odds
some
are stacked against you. The witness has
reprise
arrived.
stuff there, you know,
We got Callus.
some opulence
Everything's
coming
under
back
attack.
into the play
How do we deal with this?
from season 10, I believe.
And then you find this
Curious
thread.
how that kind of interjects back into the game.
We knew we
Alright,
wanted
hopefully
to
this is
do
where we get to see some
another
Strand.
darkness power in Destiny. Are we gonna do what everyone thinks we're gonna do? Are we gonna make like poison?
Yeah, everyone was, I was myself
No,
included.
no, no, no. We're
I
gonna do
was thinking
something that you
poison
only
would be
find
the
in
next
Destiny. We're
sub-boss.
gonna go talk about this thing called Strand, and it's the web of life.
But I like what they did here.
What
Just
does it
make
mean
it
to
Destiny
have a cosmic
specific.
web that's connecting everything around you? How do you actually make that like an ability? How do you make that like a power?
Yeah.
It's something that doesn't actually exist. You can't just point to fire, electricity, or ice coming up with the idea of the
Yeah,
strings,
yeah, I
strands
really
lighting
like
up
that.
the
I
world.
mean,
I think that was
it's definitely
when
super
everything
creative in
kind of
terms of
started to
coming
come
up with the idea
together.
of Strand.
Strand is unlike any of the powers that we've gotten
How it
before.
engages
We
with
didn't
the
get
world
it from the
around it.
Traveler, we didn't get it from the pyramids. It is a power that we find is unlocked within us as guardians.
That's, I guess, what I'm most curious about. I would want
When
to
you
play
pull
through
on
the
that thread
campaign
and you start manipulating that web
to unlock
you can do
Strand,
some really
I guess,
powerful
as I
things.
go through. Ooh, that's dope. Warlock
some
Rift,
exciting player class
putting out
fantasies
some of
coming
those
up
new
with Strand that we're introducing. So we
Tachyon
have
Strand
the
things, whatever they're
Hunter
called.
Threadrunner, which
Let's
is
take a
going to
look at this
introduce
Hunter
this
Super.
threaded spike.
Scorpion.
The Hunter Super Silk Strike, it's this
Yeah,
kind
look
of
at a super
wolf
like
dart.
this,
You're
it looks
constantly moving, constantly attacking.
very good in
It feels
PvP,
fluid. It has an
without a doubt.
amazing style to it.
Curious as its
Something
single
we've never
target
seen in
target
Destiny
damage in
before.
PvE though. Probably you could just
And then
hack
there's
and
the
slash.
Titan Berserker, and the name is pretty fitting.
So it's
The
not going to
Titan
be the
Super is blade
go-to
theory,
for the
where you
Hunter.
weave these giant blades
Kind of
onto your
similar to the
hands.
Titan,
You
to be
have
honest. It'd be like a hack and
melee
slash
attack
super for
that you can kind of combo
ads and single target
indefinitely, and then
DPS,
you
but it won't
have
be
your
a,
heavy
like,
attack, which sends out these suspending waves.
I should say like a one-shot super. Like Goldie.
And then there's the Warlock Broodweaver, a mastermind of the minions that we call the Threadlings.
The Warlock Broodweaver.
I think the Broodweaver
super
for the Warlock is the best
Needlestorm.
new strand
You
class
create
already.
3 sources of power, and then those then
Yeah.
get launched out, and then those fly through the air. When they hit an enemy,
When they hit an enemy,
they'll
they'll
explode.
explode. Okay.
When they hit
Yeah,
the
that's
ground,
dope.
they will then charge up and then turn
Yeah,
into Threadlings.
and then it gets to release those things. I think it depends on the fragments we get for the subclasses. Is going to dictate. Okay, that's cool.
All
It's
the
probably part of the
classes will
campaign.
have access to a grappling hook. When you
I
select
think it's
that,
going to
that takes
dictate
up
how
your
this
grenade
how it
slot. It was
synergizes.
a hard challenge because, like, how can you make this idea of
Yeah, so the
swinging
fact that
through
the
world equivalent to a
grapple
grenade?
hook is a melee,
And so
you get
designers
2
came up with
melees.
this idea of a grapple melee.
I'm a fan.
The grapple melee is incredibly powerful. I grapple onto an enemy, which
And it
stuns them
does
for a
damage,
second.
like, if
And
you
then
hit
when I get there, I grapple
strand on a
punch,
target.
blow them all up, and
That's a
start
cool
shooting,
SMG
and then the
looking
unravel
thing.
projectiles are flying all over the place.
Clearly a strand weapon as
All
well.
that stuff coming together was magic for me. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
That's
that's Destiny. Yeah. Welcome to Neo Muna. Alright, definitely excited to explore this place.
Neomuna has existed for
I hope they talk about
hundreds
the
of years.
Cloud
It
Striders
branched off from Earth during our collapse
a little bit more.
and shut off any communication. So they've been secretly existing on Neptune for a very long time and keeping themselves safe.
Actually, I think they're about to.
It was amazing to see how the concept artist
Dude,
made
Neo
all
Muna
of
looks
this beautiful art
crazy
feel
nice.
really fresh and new, but also a part of
Nix
the Destiny
Kinney?
universe.
Nix Kinney? Okay.
When you think about how to design
Gabriel,
Neomuna, like
Gabo,
what's the architecture
Garza.
like? We're thinking of a lot of aerodynamic things,
Garza.
fins and sailboats.
Oh, that's really cool. How they came up
That
and did
informs
some of
the
that
form
artwork.
the architectural form language.
Actually reminds me of some of
that
the
kinda
this
looks unlike anything we've
reminds me
seen
of some old
before.
Halo 2 maps.
The high
To be
winds,
honest, like just kind of
strong
comes through
pressure. We have that
in the
beach
blood
area
of Bungie.
where we show the sand is made out of diamonds.
Diamonds in the sand.
The whole terrain is following up into the beginning of the city.
The design team for
the graphic
Neo
design,
Muna certainly hit it out of the park.
vibrancy, and yeah, there's some mysteries in there.
This is all the things I would want to see
The cool
in
thing
a
about
Destiny
Neomuna
game
is
with
that
kind of
it's like this
futuristic
big
yet
neon-soaked city, but it
war-torn
has quite
city.
a spectrum of different environments.
I think my favorite absolutely is the Thrillodrome. It
Oh, that's
is
cool.
an arcade lost sector, and I
Arcade.
think
Is that
we
a-
can relate to spending our days
That's a heavy
in a
wave-frame grenade
sticky
launcher.
arcade playing games
I'm
with our buddies.
99% sure.
I'm also so excited
That's
for
dope.
people to see the Puka,
Puka
Pond,
Pond. Puka
with
Puka.
all of the pukas that have been like
I hope we
such
see
a
those little things
mystery
come
since
back.
Beyond Light.
Definitely gonna have to shoot those or collect those or something.
And then on the other side of the city is Callus's ship. The
Yeah, it's
Typhon
dope.
Imperator has
See on
landed
the other side, Callus's
square
city.
in Ahimsa Park.
Damn, that's
you
cool.
see that the city is indeed
Dude,
kind
this place
of
looks
in
massive.
shambles in parts. There's smoke, there's explosions in the air.
I hope
and
there's a
I
decent
just
amount
go
of
back
like
to the
hidden
teamwork
secrets
of
here too.
everybody
to
getting
explore.
into a room and thinking like, what can we do to make this feel high octane, very explosive, and
Yeah,
familiar?
I also want some sense of like danger when I'm exploring Neomuna, when they talk about like
This is a city that
increasing the
needs
challenge
Guardians'
level
help
of the game.
and
Curious
needs
to
their
see what they do
protection,
there.
And Callus is going to do his level best to destroy it, and we're not going to let them, and neither are the Cloud Striders.
Yeah, this is.
There's a lot new about Lightfall. We have this new location, and it has these new
I think they're-
personalities that come along
yeah,
with
yeah.
it. They're defenders of
Defenders
the
of the
city,
city.
and they have new perspectives that we really haven't seen in characters in Destiny. And
Cloud
that's
Striders.
taken the form of the Cloud Striders,
Yep.
Nimbus and Rohan.
This is dope.
I understand what's at stake, Lightbearer. All better than you.
Rohan is the grizzled,
Grizzled
old
old veteran.
veteran
He's
who's
too old for the
this shit. And Nimbus is the young rookie.
Alright.
Nimbus is
That's
learning
freaking
on
cool.
the job.
Nimbus was definitely a
When are we gonna be able to do that?
ours to animate. They're
This is the
so
question.
boisterous and fun-loving and
A little smug, a little super confident in their abilities.
The Cloud Striders, bottom line, are cool.
Yeah, they look dope.
On your face!
Cloud Strider versus Tormentor. They're gonna talk about those next. Dude, those enemies look so good.
We
Like
want
the
the
artwork,
Tormentors
everything
to be
about
the
them.
most
I'm
scary
curious to see their
unit that you've ever
like
fought
abilities
in the Destiny universe.
that we've ever
Holy crap,
fought. This
this
comes very
combatant
powerful.
is very powerful. It means business.
You know, I wonder in terms of
It's
like majors
incredibly
versus
intimidating.
bosses,
This thing
mini
wields
boss.
a massive scythe.
where they
his
fall in the
command
spectrum.
over all this void energy.
I also wonder if they're all void,
The Tormentor can like grab you.
or some are
and
arc and solar.
That's something we've never really done before.
That'd be
with
interesting to
boss.
see. Maybe they don't want to
Throws up the
release,
sight,
you know,
Has
everything
the
yet.
player in his hands.
That's really cool.
And in those moments for Dark Harvest, we actually do things with audio to make it
Nice
feel
shirt,
even
bro.
more intimate, where we
Warlocks
duck
for
out all the
days.
background sound. So you really have this intimate moment with this terrifying
Yeah, that'll
creature
definitely be a
grabbing you.
unique in-game experience, getting grabbed by a Tormentor. The War at Home. Dun, dun, dun.
Lightfall and Season of Defiance.
Right, Lightfall and
are
Season of Defiance, two sides of
this
Destiny coin.
And so on the Lightfall side, we
It
have
seems like Lightfall is going to
crazy
be geared
neon
towards
cities,
more
going on
Neo Luna.
adventure far away,
And then Season of
sort of
Defiance, even though they
bombastic
launch at the
action
same
fantasy.
time, is going to be in
On the Season of
like
Defiance side of the
familiar
coin, it's a
spaces.
story that's
Let's find
much
out.
more closer to home.
Season of
Oh, yeah,
Defiance
right there.
is about the ground war on Earth. Callus's forces are invading, and we're defending Earth. We're
Yeah.
freeing
So,
prisoners.
looks pretty much exactly like what I
We're
was just
trying
discussing.
to protect the last city, but much more directly and under much more threat. Than
That'll
we
be
have
interesting to
seen
see how
in
those
a
two
long
play,
time.
and like,
You're working with
is Season of
Petra,
Defiance
you're
and
working with
Lightfall
Vivram, you're working with all these
part of
people
the
that you know that are
campaign?
close to home and that are battling for the real thing you're trying
Overall,
to save.
not really sure. Okay, so that looks like a Titan exotic on the helm. If you didn't see that
a
there.
lot of weapons and armor
Yep, that
for
piece
players
right
to
there.
learn,
That
and
bow
I'm
looks
super
massive.
excited to see what you've been working on.
We have
Isn't
a
that
couple
just
of
the
strand
winter
exotics. The
bite
warlocks
exotic?
are getting what's called swarmers.
Alright, they're talking
these
about
boots
exotics.
that will untangle destruction, create new
Create new
threadlings at that
threadlings, that's what they're
location.
called.
Now they can either
Each
shoot
spot.
it or they can pick up a tangle and throw a tangle,
Ooh,
and then
I'm
that
definitely
will
gonna shoot him.
also
That's
create
more my
threadlings.
playstyle. I don't really want to get up
Runners are
close and
getting this
personal.
helmet that will help them grapple through the air. As you grapple, you gain this new
Woven
ability
mail.
called Woven Mail, and it's
Reduce incoming
the
damage
incoming
except for
headshots.
headshots. That's interesting.
The Titans get boots that will augment a aspect that they have. The aspect itself will just send out a wave that will suspend enemies in front of their barricade after casting it, but the boots will
Yeah, the
split them
Titan
into
one looks
3
the
waves.
best in my opinion.
Whenever they spend an enemy with these boots on, they also gain Woven Mail.
That
so
looks
pushing
cool.
the front line further and further by being tanky.
I have been caught by those boots a couple times in our playtest.
The way they
We
mentioned
have
caught by these
this
boots, I
incredibly
wonder if they're gonna be
cool
strong and like
heavy
crucible as
metal
well.
machine gun that fires according to its own rhythm, where it gets alternate effects
Yeah, I
every
think
fourth bullet, and then
this machine
every
gun's gonna get
16th
quite a bit of
bullet,
use and
it
play.
gets even more added to it.
It just looks like it's ad slaying
So we have
machine
this pistol
for
that will
in-game
use
content.
advanced technology to find
To be
your
honest.
enemies. And so suddenly you're not worrying about aiming, you're really worrying about surviving during the lock-on time. And it opens you up to consider your movement more
Huh.
than your aiming, being able to lock onto
Yeah, that's a really
multiple
interesting
guys in your
piece there.
field of vision,
That
and then
little
just
handgun.
obliterate all of them was,
Like, what
I think, a moment
implications
where
is that going to
I
have in
went, "Whoa."
PvP? I'm not really concerned about. You already kind of know how it's going to play in PvE, to be honest. You like charge the
Introducing a ton of new
lockdown,
features
the
that
locking
are
mechanism.
designed to make sure that the player experiences are as good as they can be.
This may be where they get into some of the build crafting.
I think one of the things we're most excited
Yes,
about
this is what
are
I'm ready for.
loadouts and what we're calling
I'm most excited about
build
this.
2.0, which is the system of both, hey, let's make
Okay.
it more understandable
Oh my god.
how you make a build.
You light level
And
all of
then
your
let's
stuff,
allow
your
you to
armor, your
save
mods.
that build and
Dude,
quickly
this has
swap between
been
them.
When we started
missing
the
in the
process
game
of
for
figuring
some
out
time.
how we are going to improve build crafting, one of the things that we knew we needed to do was make it easier to go from I have never done any build crafting to I'm really engaged
Yeah.
in this system.
Hope they show some more
When
gameplay
we
here.
engaged with the UI team and we said we need to
Delta
improve this
custom loadout, so it looks like they
experience, came back
named
with,
the
what if
loadout.
we did
It's got all the
a
mods there.
build management screen and let
What
you
your armor's
see your
like.
whole build
Okay, mod
on one
customization.
screen.
It's all in one place.
Dude, there
You
looks
can
like
see it, you
so
can
many
read it,
slots
you
there.
can
It's
learn.
wild.
And that coupled with our
Guardian ranks.
that's
Okay,
gonna
rank
come in
6.
and basically
Dude, the
be
strand
our
subclass,
first
did you see it? Looks
ever companion
dope.
to every single player.
Guardian ranks is our answer to what should I be doing in Destiny if
If
I
you
want
wanna
to
get better.
You have this
I'm already the
track
best.
that tells you what you should be doing. We're really
Oh, so it's
excited
like
for players to
triumphs,
start
but
diving into that
kind of
system,
specific
along with
to your Guardian rank.
combinations, a way to finally say thank you.
I'm just
to players
intrigued
who
to see how that
keep
plays
playing.
out.
We think all of this
This
stuff is
looks
coming
dope.
together to bring this more
I love
cohesive
this.
relationship between our players.
Essentially ranking people in the raid. Like, that's what I think that is, like voting.
When we think about the
It's like
future of
callous
Destiny, we
sphinx.
think there's so much more to discover. We're just on the coast right now. We want to get into the heart
This
of this
game,
continent.
I think this game's taking a good turn towards
We are walking to our
looter
10-year
shooter in a
anniversary
better way.
of Destiny, and Destiny being
More loot.
such a core part of our players'
Better
lives.
ways to shoot.
We just want to keep building Destiny.
We've been talking about this antagonist to the Traveler for so long. In Lightfall, we get to spend time with the Witness in a way that we haven't yet.
We're paying off storylines that have been coming together and been building for years.
More questions will certainly arise.
We have this finale with the final shape that's coming right
Definitely
after
excited to see what's after
Lightfall,
this.
where we're closing down the Light and Darkness
Closing
saga.
down the saga between light and darkness. But
But
Destiny's
Destiny
far
is
from over.
far from
Sick.
over.
This universe is about more than the
Yeah,
conflict
I can't see what.
between the
Can't wait
Traveler
to see what
and
they
the
come out with
Pyramids.
next.
And we want to show you new ways to explore it. We want to show you new things to discover in the universe because we think that Destiny has a lot to offer, and Lightfall is the catalyst for that. It's
Dude,
high
this
stakes,
expansion is going to be
thrilling action, all at the
amazing.
same time pushing the Destiny story to places it's never been before.